I have a quiz. We always have a game every week.
Love a quiz.
I know you know this because you've listened to every episode.
Every single... You've done
one.
3 episodes, right?
That's right, yeah, that's right. 1, 2, and 61. Those are well, we just numbered them weirdly.
Exactly, those are the ones I've heard.
Yeah. So you won't have heard this game before. It's not a game, it is a quiz. It's called Stranger Things. Johnny Hot Body, Olympic wins, a kangaroo's rose, it's Stranger Things. So, this is a quiz about things that the internet thinks are strange. Not all of them are actually strange, but we'll see. We'll see as we go along how strange you think they are. Question 1. What was a volleyball originally made from? Was it A, an American football but squashed? Was it B, the inside of a basketball? Or was it C, a beach ball wrapped with paper bags?
I already know my answer to that.
Yeah.
Just from an educated guess, I would say it can't be A because an oblong thing squashed isn't going to work.
No.
And I think inside a basketball, they used to have a bladder. They used to have I think it's the same with what they used to have in old footballs, like soccer balls. There used to be sort of an internal synthetic bladder.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that bounces a lot like a volleyball. So I'm going to go with B.
So you think B, the inside of a basketball, and you are correct, of course. That was an easy one to get you into the mood.
1-0.
1-0, yeah. Let me get a pen because I need to tick these off so I know how many you've got. Yes, tick. That is correct. Apparently, Spalding created the first official volleyball around 1896/1900. No one actually knows when they originally made one. It is a disputed thing.
They didn't say this is a volleyball. So that means there's 4 years. There's 4 years there where they were like, I'm not sure if this is a volleyball.
Not sure if we
use it as a volleyball.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they recognised volleyball as a sport at the point because things weren't sort of written down like they are now. You don't start a sport and go, okay, this is what it's going to be and plan things out. Things in those days were just like, oh, let's do it, let's do that, and somebody do this, and let's play it, and it was a bit more chaotic. I think
if they'd had Wikipedia back then, it would have solved all.
It would have helped a lot of Victorians out, wouldn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Did you know that nudists were early adopters of volleyball? They were one of the reasons that volleyball took off, and
because they like playing with balls.
Could be. I don't know if you'd want to volley them though. That doesn't sound a good idea.
Nope.
No. But apparently,
disagree.
Apparently they started organised play in their nudist clubs as early as the late 1920s, and by 1960s. The volleyball court was a standard in all naturist and nudist clubs. It's interesting, isn't it?
Wow.
Volleyball was also originally called mintonette. That was another fact I wrote down. I've nothing else. I've got no more information than that. That's just what it was called originally. Okay.
Mintonette.
Yeah. Question 2. Which of these is the speculated origins of tetherball? Now, do you know what tetherball is?
Thing on a stick which you hit round.
That's right, yes. So was it A, a chopped off head of an enemy? Was it B, a stolen melon? Or was it C, a large spherical rock?
What are they hitting this with? Or is it
so
it's not going to be B.
You don't think it was a stolen melon?
100% not a stolen melon.
Okay. Why? Why do you think it's a stolen melon?
I just thinking back to what they would hit it with. If it was with a racket or with a bat or with a,
doesn't have to do with anything. It could be the hands, couldn't it?
Well, you're not going to be hitting a a stolen melon is going to split up more than either a head or a rock.
No, that's true.
A head of your enemies. That sounds quite messy.
Yeah.
A rock. I'm going to say they're going to be hitting it with like a bit of wood. I'm going to say rock.
You think it was a large spherical rock? You are incorrect.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was a chopped off head of an enemy. That was the original. This is only speculated, but this is the historian's best guess.
I should have guessed that.
It was thought to have been played by the Tartars in the 9th century, and they would chop the heads off the enemies, tie them to a big stick.
Oh no! I should have known that.
Knock them round.
there's a great series by Connington about Genghis Khan, and I think they might have done stuff like that in the series.
Oh, I don't remember that in the Genghis Khan ones, but he did do a Kubla Khan ones as well, didn't he? Which probably would have the Tartars in. I haven't read the Kubla Khan ones, so yeah, you might be right. Oh, you should have known. The Tartars, not only famous for the sauce. Question 3. What percentage of former NBA players go broke within 5 years of their NBA careers ending? Is it A, 60%, B, 75%, or C, 90%? And this is according to the Toronto Star in 2008, so it's a bit out of date, but still.
Yeah, 2008.
Yeah.
What was it, 60, 75, and 95?
90.
60, 75, and 90.
Yeah.
This is just a shot in the dark, because you just assume that they have good people advising them, but that's not the case.
Incorrect,
and quite a lot of them. Do they come straight out of school, or do they have to go to college first?
They don't have to go to college. I think there is a standard college pathway, but some of them only play like 1 year of college and then go straight into the draft. If you're good enough, you'll go straight into the NBA. Yeah.
And presumably this also includes people who have got injured, so have gone out of their contract. I'm going to say down the middle. I'm going to go B, 75%.
You think 75%? And you were incorrect. It's only 60, unfortunately. But either way...
Tricked me with the...
Yeah, see, I knew you'd go down the middle. I knew it.
Yeah.
But 60% is high, isn't it?
Especially when you've got that much, when you've been given quite a lot of money for what you do.
I can tell you the average wage at the time was $5.6 million a year.
Wow.
That was the average wage.
Wow, that's crazy.
Do you want to have a guess? I'd say let's go higher or lower for the NFL.
Average wage in the NFL?
No, not the average wage, sorry. No, the bankrupt percentages. Oh, this is within 2 years as well. Do more or less players in the NFL go bankrupt after 2 years of the end of their career than NBA players?
Less.
You think less than 60%? You are incorrect. It is 78% of NFL players are either bankrupt or under financial distress within 2 years of the end of their career. How can that? And
to be honest, I completely agree with you that is crazy.
Yeah.
But on an NBA pitch, you have 5 people. On a court, you have 5 people, and you have a bench of, I don't know how big the bench is, 4 or 5 on the bench?
7 or 8, I think, usually.
Yeah, whereas an NFL team, the current roster that you're allowed to have on a sideline is 53 players.
Yeah, that is crazy, isn't
it?
So
the second stringers and the kickers and the punt holders and the players like that, the special team players, they get not millions, they get hundreds of thousands a year. And so it's not comparable. So maybe that's where some of them fall out.
But surely, like, I know it's not millions of pounds, but if you are paid £100,000 for a few years, how are you then bankrupt after 2 more?
Yeah, that is crazy.
That is insane.
Maybe it's that your friends are still in the game, so you go to lavish places. I don't know.
That is what I think it is that there is a lot of sort of bro culture around both of those sports, where you kind of have to keep up with the Joneses, I guess, as it is. So it's just crazy to me. I just can't understand how people who have that much money can ever go broke, but it happens surprisingly often.
Position of not having 5.6 million.
Exactly. Yeah. If I played 1 year in the NBA, I would never go broke again.
Except for life. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Question 4. Which celebrity broke the record for the longest televised putt in history at 100 feet? It has since been broken again, but this was broken in 1981. Was it Claire Boulding, Sir Terry Wogan, or Hugh Grant?
B, Terry Wogan.
You're going straight in for Tel?
Because it was then beaten by Michael Phelps. He did about 140 yards, I think.
Very good knowledge. Yes, that is correct. I think Phelps was 160 feet, I think, was what his...
Unbelievable.
His Pokemon, which is incredible. But yes, it was Sir Terry Wogan in 1981. I love Terry Wogan.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
Just what a personality.
Yeah.
He always seems happy, bubbly. Yeah.
He was so good at the Eurovision. There's no one who's ever going to do the Eurovision as well as Terry Wogan did.
What even happens with Eurovision now? Is it Graham Norton?
Yeah, Graham Norton does it. Graham Norton's okay. I don't hate him, but it was just it was such a Wogan thing. Like, he was just getting drunk in a room and commentating on it. Like, it's like that Mitchell and Webb sketch. Have you seen that one where they're commentating on the snooker?
On the snooker, yeah, and they've just got rows of pints.
They're getting absolutely blitzed. That was exactly what Terry Wogan was like, except he was on his own.
Yeah, oh my god! And you've got to do that if you're sitting through 5 hours or whatever Eurovision is.
Some of the fucking nonsense that there is in the Eurovision, you've got to get a bit pissed, haven't you? I think.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only way.
Yeah. Question 5: who came up with the word soccer? Was it A, the Japanese, B, the Germans, C, the Finnish, or D, the English?
Or controversial. Putting English in there is a curveball.
Could we have done it to ourselves?
I think... Is it spelled C-A-R or C-E-R?
C-E-R. So it's S-O-C-C-E-R.
Yeah, that shows how much I know about football.
Yeah.
I thought it was like an acronym of something.
Ooh.
Society of... something.
Interesting.
English regulations.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's a bit of a weird name.
Yeah.
If you said soccer, I would think Japanese.
Yes. Could be though.
What
couldn't
was
it? Maybe that's where it comes from.
Oh, you're annoying.
Yeah.
You are.
I am, aren't I?
Yeah, very much so. What were the options? Japan, Finnish?
Japanese, German, Finnish, or English?
Okay, well, I'm writing out Germans right now, not choosing them.
You're not having You're not having it.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Finnish. You have been doing a lot of Finnish stuff recently. Your Finnish baseball, that sort of stuff.
Yes.
So I think that's why you've got Finland on the brain. So I'm writing them off.
You're
Japan,
playing me rather than the game. I like it.
Yeah, England, I think, is the curveball put in there to catch me out. And I am going to fall for it. I'm going to jump in and I'm going to fall for it. I'm going to say England D.
You're going to take the English. Are you really?
Yeah.
You're right. That's very good.
Yes!
It was. It was created by British schoolboys in the sort of late 1800s. It is a shortening of association football, which they would shorten to ASOC for like the first bit of association. And then, you know how they like say, you want to play some rugger? They would say a soccer, and then it would get shortened. Yeah, and it got shortened from ASOC to soccer. Yeah, very good. I was very impressed by that fact when I found that one. That was quite a good fact.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good.
Yeah. Question 6. The 1972 Boston Bruins, I've done it now, won the Stanley Cup, but the cup itself doesn't quite reflect that. What is wrong? Is it A, they are spelt with the Q's instead of O's? Is it B, their second name is spelt Brewings, as in like brewing a pint, rather than the Bruins, which is Bruins? Or is it C, the name of their opponents, the New York Rangers, had begun to be carved, as it was a very close series, so the first letter has a diagonal line through the B, as if it was like in capital N?
Yeah, I'm going to say C without even like questioning myself, because I think that is if I was a person who needed to get a trophy out at the end of a major event, scrap that. Maybe they would have. No, they would have either written the whole thing like a game early and just assumed it was that the other team were gonna win. Why would they have only written one letter? No, I'd scrap that. It's not C.
Or maybe it was right at the end. Maybe it was right at the end of the game, and the New York
and there was a
Rangers
massive
were up.
comeback by the Bruins.
Well, they might have been up by 1 goal, and the carver was just like, "Oh, it must be over." Maybe it's like the they think it's all over moment in the England football.
You're trying to push too hard, so it's not C.
Am I trying to push too hard,
What were the other two?
A, they are spelt with Q's instead of O's, or that B, their second name is spelled Brewings, like brewing a beer.
The Boston Bruins.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have given it to an engraver who didn't know what they were spelling.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you know what a Bruin is?
BQS.
Yeah, BQSTQN.
No, I don't know what a Bruin is.
No.
I can pick the logo out in my head, but I have no idea what.
It's kind of.
Bruins sample.
Is it orangey? Orange and dark blue? That's the picture I've got of the Bruins. I'm not sure.
Fair. There are lots of people in London wear caps with Bruins on them.
Really?
It's around. Yeah. Can I think of? I'm just going to have to take a stab in the dark. I like C, but I don't think it's correct.
Okay.
I am going to go with Q's instead of O's. A.
You think they've transposed Q's into or O's into Q's? You are correct. What a strange thing to have done. I don't understand this one. So, they've put capital Q's in the place of the O's, but I don't understand why. Surely, like they
maybe. Do you think they use a template when they write them out? And
possibly.
They didn't have any O's.
And they didn't have any O's.
They're missing O's.
I'll just make do. It'll be all right. They won't notice.
Yeah. Fuck it, we'll just call them the Bacukans.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that there's no vowels in that word. So there's no way that they could have thought that's how it was spelt.
Yeah.
It's such a strange thing. There has been a number of errors on the Stanley Cup engraving. It's kind of a thing now. Like they actually quite like the fact that the trophy is a bit messed up. In the 1938 Blackhawks team that won, player Pete Palangio was included in the team twice. And in the second time he was included, it missed out the N in his name. That's pretty ridiculous, isn't it? You spelt it right the first time. Palangio. Yeah, so Palagio.
There you go. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's weird that they got it right the first time, and then second time thought, it must be a different person.
So what? Yeah, well, that's what I assumed, is that they've written Palangio and Palagio down. and thought, well, that's quite interesting. They've got two players with very similar names there. And you think, like, in a spreadsheet sort of era, that could easily happen, couldn't it? Like with some sort of
duplication.
Yeah, some sort of typing error at some point, and it gets duplicated into the scoring list or something like that. But this was 1938, so they didn't have any computers out. They were doing it all by hand. So
yeah, those sort of things I can't get on board with.
It's
I don't
more
understand
strange,
how they happen.
Isn't it? Yeah. Hall of Fame Canadian goalkeeper, the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah.
Their goalkeeper Jacques Plante, won the Stanley Cup 5 years in a row from 1956 to 1960, and he was spelt differently each time. That's my favourite one.
You must have, by the third one, they're probably just thinking, well, we might as well just do it differently.
Let's just keep going, shall we? How can you spell plant? Like, 5 times? I can't think of 5 different spellings of it. I guess you can misspell.
They're definitely...
They're doing it on purpose, aren't they?
They're messing around.
Yeah. Question 7. What are the Olympic gold medals actually predominantly made of? Is it A, silver, B, steel, or C, nickel?
When you read the question, I was already thinking nickel in my head.
Were you?
Yeah. As a side note, I'm pretty sure the ones for Tokyo 2022 are going to be mainly made out of recycled materials from phones and other electronic devices.
Are they?
Which is pretty cool.
That is cool.
But they've effectively taken the metal part out of those recycled devices, which is cool.
Yeah, so I've heard quite a bit about that. There's a lot of precious metals in phones, isn't there? There's only small amounts in each phone, but every time you scrap a motherboard or whatever, you are scrapping quite a bit of precious metal, and there's only so much of it in the world.
Yeah, and if people get a new phone every 3 years, something like that, and there's
more often than
however many billions of people who have a phone worldwide. It adds up.
Yeah, definitely.
But on the case of silver would be my second guess. Steel too heavy.
Yeah.
Silver still quite expensive. I don't think nickel is as expensive as silver, and I think nickel works quite well as an alloy with gold. So I'm going to say nickel.
So you think it's C, nickel, and you are incorrect. It is A, silver is your second choice. Nickel, I thought you might go for nickel. I'll be honest. I thought when I put it down, I was like, I've got him here. Because you're right, nickel is quite cheap and it's a fairly versatile metal, isn't it? But
am I at 3-all? Was that question 6?
That was question 7. Wait.
Am I losing then?
No, you are up. You're up. You're 4-3. 4 and 3.
Okay, I'll take it.
You're going all right. Yes, the medals are made of 93% silver, 6% copper, and 1% gold. Only 1%, and that's just the sheen, basically, that they put on the edge. Yeah, it's just literally that very, very thin layer. Basically like gold, what do you call it when you put gold on something? Gold flakes?
Yeah. Gold plate.
It's very much that. 1912 was the last time that they handed out a solid gold medal. And now it only has to have 6 grams of gold in the actual medal. That makes it the 1%.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question 8. True or false? If a Japanese golfer at any level scores a hole-in-one, they are expected to buy gifts, drinks, dinner, etc. for all of their friends at an event similar to a mini wedding.
It's got to be true.
Is that true? You think that's true?
Yep, I want it to be true.
So you want to bankrupt a lot of Japanese players, is that what you're saying?
Yep, they should go to the NBA instead.
You are correct, and they should go to the NBA. No.
That is incredible.
That is true.
I love that.
So there's kind of that culture in Western culture as well of, like, you buy everyone in the clubhouse around. That's when you score a hole-in-one. Not quite to the same level. Yeah, but not buy
them all a meal.
Yeah, it's not quite to the same level. Apparently, it can be so expensive that over 4 million Japanese golfers carry hole-in-one insurance, which are they are specific insurance policies for this very reason. The only time you can ever cash out on them is if you get a hole-in-one. Do you
think that there's players who are pretending, who have like got hole-in-ones and have got to the cup and thought, I can't be bothered in paying this, and have just got the ball and put it right next to the side.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so close.
I reckon that a lot of people are trying to spot people doing holes-in-ones because it is so good for you if you're not the one hitting it. So you just everyone's like looking out, like everyone's eagle-eyed trying to find another Japanese player scoring a hole-in-one.
Oh yeah. You wouldn't be able to cheat because they're watching you.
Yeah, they are watching you. They're always watching. Apparently, an insurance policy, the standard insurance policy, can pay out up to $10,000.
Wow, that is. I guess if you've got to give all your friends and family a meal.
If you've got a lot of friends, so this is another thing: is you should try not to have so many friends, and that way, you cut down the cost. By. Exactly. Yeah, that's how I live my life.
Don't be good at golf. Yeah. Don't have friends.
That's basically me. That's good. Question 9. Which of these silly baseball facts is true? Is it A, they pre-dirty each ball with mud from the Delaware River? Is it B, 1 in every set of 100 bats has to be held by a Hall of Famer before being shipped to ensure that the feel is correct? Or is it C, umpires are required to take an eye test between every match that they officiate?
I already know the answer.
Do you?
A.
Ooh.
Yeah. And there is one guy who lives on the Delaware River, one family, should I say, that has a monopoly on the mud, the special mud that is sold to NBA teams. Not NBA teams. What's it?
To MLB teams.
MLB.
Yeah.
Yeah, MLB teams that they put on their balls before they're used.
Very good knowledge.
So hey.
Yeah, that is exactly right. Very good. They call it magic mud because it is apparently the only mud that gets the exact right grip for the pitchers, and they've done this for 75 years with the same mud.
Yeah, it's been passed down by 3 generations now, and I don't know whether it's. I think he's got a daughter who seems to be quite interested. So when he retires, he can pass it on. Is that the name of the guy?
That is the name that I wrote down. Lena Blackburn. They call it Lena Blackburn Mud. I didn't know that was if that was a person for sure, but I assume that is who you're talking about.
Yeah, I assume it's the same mud as well. I didn't know what it was called, but there's only one guy who has a monopoly on it. But what you would assume for a sport that's so big as US baseball, as the MLB, that it would be quite fruitful for him. He has to do it on the side of another job because he only earns something like $20,000 or $20,000 to $30,000 doing it.
Yeah, and it must cost a fair amount to do, I guess.
but each team only gets 1 or 2 cans of this mud a year. So actually, if he supplies every single team and they only get 1 or 2 cans, it's not actually that much.
Yeah, I guess like only a couple of cans a year, and there's only 30 odd teams.
Yeah,
so it's not a huge amount, but you can buy it apparently on the open market as well.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe one that he has to sort of just get it out there to smaller teams, and also it's helped by that in the MLB, each ball is only hit once.
Yes, so that was another question I was going to ask you. Actually, is the average life of an MLB ball is around 5 to 7 pitches. So one
that's
hit.
Crazy.
That is absolutely crazy. They just waste all these balls. 5 to 7 pitches.
That's just ridiculous, and I don't know how. I think it's because when they strike it, it damages the ball. So next throw, the next pitch won't be. You can't curve it without an imperfection or something.
Yeah, and I think they're very. It's a very American thing to be. They're very, very particular about it, aren't they? Not like in cricket, where actually altering the ball is part of the game. I think in American sports, they're very, very particular about the equipment, aren't they? It's all about the players.
Incredibly meticulous.
Yeah, and the equipment has to be kind of standardised. Very good. So that was a good amount of knowledge. Like this quiz, I actually originally wrote for Ben, and I was not expecting him to get these questions right. So it's not. You have a lot more knowledge, I think, probably because you sit on the internet a lot and read these sort of things. Yeah.
This is my life.
Yeah, this is a good quiz for you. I should do these quizzes for you more. Make use of your knowledge. Question 10, and I imagine you might know this. Question 10. What is the only sport which has been played on the moon? Is it A, golf, B, basketball, or C, curling?
I could imagine Americans going to the moon, smacking a golf ball. There's enough space. You've got to have space on the shuttles, and a golf club and ball, or hitting it with like an antenna of some form, isn't going to take up that much space. So straight out of the blue, I'm going.
We'll just rip an antenna off the shuttle.
Yeah,
we don't need this one.
We probably don't need this. It's probably just I'm
Houston, we have a problem.
I can't hear you, Houston, because I've ripped off the bloody antenna.
Well, not getting home then, are we? Let's just play golf. So you think it's golf? Was
that correct? Yeah.
Is that what you're going for?
I can't. Yeah, it can't be basketball, and it's definitely not curling. The moon's too bumpy. That's for sure.
You are correct. It is golf. That was another gimme because I thought Ben would be crying by this point.
Yeah,
that is correct. It is golf. There's no ice on the moon, is there? There's no water, so you can't really play curling. No. I thought you could possibly play basketball. You'd be able to shoot from a long way away.
Yeah, they could have thrown something. They could, and it would have been that would be really funny to watch. Just someone trying to throw a ball up and it just keep going.
Yeah, just scoring a 3-pointer from absolutely miles away. And apparently it could be miles away. So it was astronaut Alan Shepard who took a golf ball and club with him on Apollo 14. Shepard observed in a sort of famous quote that the ball he hit seemed to travel for miles and miles and miles. And physicist Ethan Siegel calculated after the fact that given the correct understanding of the shot required, which I guess would be slightly different, you can hit it higher because it will just carry on for a lot longer. A golfer could easily hit a ball 2.5 miles.
That's awesome.
How crazy is that? So the longest shot ever hit on Earth was by Mike Austin in 1974, 515 yards. So it's probably
on the flat.
Yeah, maybe downhill. I don't know. That's just the longest golf shot.
That's still massive
on record. It's crazy. Like the average drive is about 300, isn't it? So
in the big drive competitions, they hit 4s, and that's it.
Yeah.
If you hit 400, it's massive.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and Mike Austin just strolls up, 515, smacks it. Like that's longer than a lot of holes.
Yeah, that is longer than a par 5.
Yeah, that's crazy. So yes, you got. Let me see. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 10. And
come on.
I guess that kind of shows how strange you are.
I'll take it.
Johnny Hot Body Olympic wins. A kangaroo's nose. It's Stranger Things.